So on turn one, the biggest problem for the Axis here is the first Free French that is located in a fortified box at Bir Hakim. And that's going to be the hardest one. But there are a couple of other attacks that we're going to focus on here. I'll put the map down so you can have a look at the overall situation. So I have in the picture here, the first Free French. You can see they're circled and identified, but a little bit to the right, going down that track, you see the 3rd Indian Brigade there, and then a little bit farther down, you'll see the 7th Indian Brigade. So these are all 3 areas of attack that I'm going to launch here. The first thing that we start with is bombardment fire, and this doesn't go well for the Axis. In fact, we end up losing the 155 battalion as a friendly fire loss in the counter battery. And there's another bombardment against the 8th RTR. This time it is successful, and this unit is really dispersed. You can see I have, as I mentioned before, I have 3 attacks here. The first one is against the British 7th Brigade at Retma. And again, the Axis is going to use some fire support. The Commonwealth doesn't have enough to keep up with this. So this is an effective an attack. It does force the British to retreat. There's no retreat path, so the British troops have to take a step loss. Then another attack is launched against the 3rd Indian Brigade, which, as I mentioned before, is on the trail between Retma and Bir Hakim. And this one ends up being no effect. Both sides use support chits, but everything cancels out and there's just no effect. The main objective here, though, is the first Free French at Bir Hakim. This is the final attack in the Axis portion of the turn, and so I'm resolving that. Anyway, this attack goes fairly well for the Axis. They do get a retreat result for the Free French, but because the Free French Brigade is in a fortified box, they get to ignore the retreat result. On the Commonwealth player's turn, there's not really much to do. For one, they don't get to move on the first turn to simulate, Rommel's initial feint or surprise. However, the 3rd Indian Brigade is a mobile unit, so during the mobile movement phase, I believe it can move, so it can get out of the zone of control and escape its predicament. However, the 7th Brigade is surrounded as well, but it is not a mobile unit and it cannot get away, so it's in a little bit of trouble here. But anyway, that ends the first turn, and stay tuned if you'd like to see more.